In today's video, we are looking at the Corsair CX550F RGB Power Supply. Now this power supply is fully modular and I only paid on Amazon UK £30, which I personally think is an absolute bargain. So today we're just going to take an unboxing of this power supply and sort of show you what's in the box, show you the different cables, the cable lengths and everything that you get. And it's just a general overview of this power supply. So obviously if you're liking this video, please drop us a like, and if you like the content, please subscribe. Now moving on to this power supply, this is an RGB power supply. So obviously it has the RGB fan. Now this is a Corsair power supply, so it is compatible with the iCUE software. You can plug this into an iCUE controller, and then through the iCUE software you can then customize what RGB you want within your fan. So that's nice, as it will all work in your system as one coherent RGB system, which is really nice if you obviously do have a Corsair case to go with your Corsair power supply. But I do think for £30 this is a real bargain. Now some aren't keen on the RGB, and you can actually turn that off if you don't want the RGB, but I think for maybe like a little underglow on your case or something like that, or maybe if you put the fan up into your case, then it could maybe shine into the case. I think it's okay. I mean, maybe not for everyone RGB, but I mainly got this because it was cheap, and you know, 550 watt is still a good wattage. That's more or less any GPU up to an RTX 3060 or 3060 Ti maybe as well. I think once you get to RTX 3070, that's probably a little bit too much for this power supply, but I think anything up to the 3060 Ti or 6600 XT is certainly perfectly fine for this power supply. And yeah, let's just take a little look at the box here. Not too much, just your general sort of power supply sort of things at the back. This is 80 plus bronze, so obviously a good efficiency rating, which is always nice if you're getting a power supply and you want it to last many years, and you want great efficiency to obviously reduce your potential power consumption and obviously your global emissions. Obviously, as I said earlier, this is fully modular, so the cables that we do get with it is obviously all separate to the actual power supply. You actually have to plug them in, each one into the power supply. So if you were looking to get custom cables, this would be a perfect power supply for that as well. It comes with obviously the ATX and the supplementary EPS, which is for your CPU, which is like the 8-pin. Then it comes only with one PCIe connector, which has got the two 8-pin connectors, sorry. So if you are looking to run like a very beefy graphics card, obviously this is not the power supply for you. If you've got maybe like 3 8-pin connectors, obviously this is not going to work. But I would have liked to have seen the second one, but I can understand it's only 550 watts, so they probably thought we'll only put one with it. But yeah, it's understandable. You have a 1x PATA 4-pin, which I'm not sure if it's the same as SATA or not, but you have it anyway. Then you have the one SATA, which has got the 4-pin 4 connectors on it. The other one had the 4 connectors on it as well, sorry. And then you have a SATA, which is for 3 SATA drives rather than the 4 SATA drives. And then you have your one iCUE RGB connector, so that is a cable that connects to the power from the power supply to your iCUE controller, if you do have an iCUE controller in your case. So that obviously gives the controller the full power over having the RGB. And then we have the ARGB connector to your motherboard. So if you want to just connect this power supply straight to your motherboard and control it through your motherboard software, control the RGB through your motherboard software, then you can do that too. Now I think let's crack on with the unboxing. Let's have a look inside. Obviously I do think it is quite a nice box. As I said before, I think, you know, it's only a power supply obviously, but it's nicely presented. So as you can see here, quite a nice presentation. We have first of all our UK power plug. So if you're in the UK, you get that. You obviously then have all your cables here, which we'll go through them in a minute. You have what is a instruction book, which is for some reason extremely beefy, which I don't really understand why it's like that, but anyway. Important information, so probably like warranty and things like that. And then the actual power supply itself, so let's just take a look at that now. Oh, and you also get some cable ties, which is a nice little feature. Oh, and the 4 screws to actually plug into your, to actually screw it into your case if you didn't have your case screws for that. But yeah, let's have a look at it. It's quite a small little power supply actually for a 120mm fan. This is already, I can feel that this is actually quite a smallish unit. So let's just unwrap this. Yeah, so the RGB fan is here. Just Corsair branding here. You've got your information here for your power supply information, like your wattage and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, all the modular connectors are here, so it actually goes that way. You've got motherboard, which is obviously your 24 pin. You've got CPU here, and then PCIe here. You've got your SATA or PATA. I don't know what PATA is actually, but anyway. Then your RGB in is just here. If we just have a little look at the sort of like outputs here. Yeah, so just having a look at the outputs here. On the 12-volt rail, we have actually got basically a 550 watt full output, which is actually really good to see. Going to the back side now, this is our RGB button here, which just presses in and out like that. So that would just skip through different RGB settings. Obviously our power button on and off, and then our connector here. So just going through all our cables. First of all, we have a SATA cable here. This is for 4 SATA drives. The next cable we have is actually Molex connector. So that's probably the PATA one. That's probably what it was called. So that does 4 Molex. Probably not going to use that one, but the great thing about the fully modular power supply is you can literally just throw that in the box, and then we won't be using that. Obviously, if you need to, you can use it, but otherwise, just put it back in your box. So, next cable is your 2 8-pins for your graphics card. These are obviously 6 pins with the 2 pin extensions as well. So, if you're either using a 6-pin connector, or if you're using an 8-pin connector, then you can use 2 of those, so that's great. This is your big boy for your 24-pin connector. So this part goes into the power supply, and that part just there is for the motherboard. CPU, this is actually, it does actually say labeled CPU there, so you can't get that mixed with like your PCIe connectors for your graphics card or anything. So that's the supplementary 4-pin, oh sorry, 8-pin. Is it? Oh no, sorry, it's a, oh no, it does split. It's a 4x4 pin. I was going to say it's an 8-pin, but it's a 4x4 pin, so it does combine for an 8-pin, but it is sort of put together for you already, but you can split that. But most motherboards is 8-pin supplementary now anyway, so I wouldn't really worry about that too much. This is our ARGB connector, if you're connecting that from the power supply to your ARGB connection on your motherboard. The next cable is your 3 SATA ports, so you can do 3 SATA connections here with this cable. The next cable plugs into your IQ controller if you want to control your Corsair PSU with your Corsair IQ controller in your Corsair case. I've said Corsair quite a few times. It's not sponsored this video, I would say. And obviously your mains power supply, which is UK for us. So again, just coming back to the power supply, this is a pretty small unit. I'll just get my tape measure actually now. This looks to be, it's only 14 centimeters actually by about 15 centimeters. It's only 14 centimeters deep. So if you do have quite a smaller case or a little bit restrictive, the depth of this is going to be really good and really handy for you. So it's gonna help a lot for cable management at the back of your case, which is nice. I do think overall this looks a good unit. I mean, it's very heavy as well. I've noticed that I generally find, not always, but I generally find 90% of the time, a good PSU is heavy. That's my usual rule of thumb. If a PSU is heavy, it's good. If it's light, it's crap and you need to throw it away. But yeah, overall I think this is a great little unit. I mean, fully modular power supply for only £30, an absolute bargain and steal, I personally think. And the only reason why you're kind of seeing these power supplies so cheap is obviously because of graphics cards aren't available and people aren't really building PCs. But if you are picking up maybe a used graphics card, or you've got a current graphics card and you just want to upgrade your system and you want to have a bit more of a reliable power supply that's going to last you years. I'm actually not sure the warranty on this. Let me have a look at the back. I'll put the warranty on the screen if I do find it. But anyway, I hope you liked this video, guys. This obviously just was an overview of the Corsair CX550F RGB power supply. I hope you liked it. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.